I'm Katie Wells, host of the Maximized Minimalist podcast. I escaped the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood, overwhelmed by clutter and buried under the mental load. Now I live in a home that feels calm, manageable, and made for real life. I have margin in my days, energy for who matters most, and time for slow mornings and silly dance parties in the kitchen with my family. With over 5 million listens, the show has helped women around the world turn their homes into their happy place. Around here, we simplify for more peace, more presence, and more joy. We choose grace over guilt and progress over perfection. And we believe your home should give back more than it takes. I'm here to help you do the same. Come along with me and my guests as we share the real stories, habits, and strategies that help you lighten the load from the inside out. Pull up a seat, friend, and let's do this together. Ready, set, simplify. There is a window of time where the clutter you've been avoiding suddenly becomes so much easier to deal with. You can see it more clearly, you know exactly what needs to go, and the decisions that usually keep you stuck practically make themselves. Most people completely miss this window because they don't even know it exists. But once you see it, you're going to catch it every single time. So today in this episode, we're going to share the brain science. Yes, you're going to geek out with me for a few minutes behind why you actually stop seeing your own clutter and why it's still draining you even when you can't see it. I'm going to give you my favorite hack for capturing that clarity before it fades. And I'm walking you through 4 of my favorite rules that make your next decluttering session, whether it's 30 seconds or 30 minutes, feel so much more effortless. If you can't tell, I'm 2 lattes in. I got the birds chirping in the background. I am so amped, so let's get into it. So here's what's happening in your brain right now that you might not realize. This happens to all of us. There is a concept in psychology called clutter blindness. Well, really what it is, it's your brain has a system called the reticular activating system that literally filters out things you see every single day. It's the same reason why you don't hear the hum of your refrigerator anymore. Or maybe if you're next to a busy street, you might not hear the traffic outside your window anymore. Same thing goes for hearing. Your brain decides, I've heard this, I've seen this over and over and over again. It's not new. I don't need to pay attention to it. And it becomes more invisible to you. This is exactly what happens with clutter. The pile on the kitchen counter that maybe your partner or child, you're like, why are you seeing these things? They actually might not be, but they've learned to tune it out. And while we can easily point at our family members for not seeing things, there are things that we don't see either. Maybe you stopped seeing it weeks ago. The boxes in the garage become a little bit more invisible, the overflowing shelf in the bathroom. Your brain gets better at completely filtering it out. Some of us are literally living in a home full of things our brain has decided not to show you anymore. But I think what's even trickier and most people don't realize is just because your brain stopped showing you the clutter doesn't mean it stopped processing it. You might not see that pile anymore, so to speak, but you still feel it. The low grade stress when you walk in the door, the vague sense of something's off. I'm overwhelmed in my home, but you can't put your finger on it. The exhaustion that doesn't match how you sleep, how much sleep you got. Maybe you got 10 hours of sleep and you wake up in your cluttered bedroom and go, why don't I feel rested? Your brain is working overtime to suppress all that visual noise, and it's still costing you energy. And so many of us don't even realize that we're spending it. We are spending it and it's flying out the window real fast. I don't know about you, but I have not energy. I don't have enough energy to just waste it. So we're going to fix that today. This is what I say when I say clutter blindness. I don't mean it's not affecting you. It's just you've lost the ability to see really reality. And that's why the window I'm about to tell you about is so powerful. By the way, let me know if you've ever noticed this. I always notice it, by the way, most after a trip, whether it's a camping trip, a one-day trip away, or maybe a summer vacation, hence the timeliness of this episode. I walk back through my front door and I'm like, oh, and maybe it's not even clutter. Maybe you're like, this drawer's been broken for 6 months and I'm just realizing it. Oh, I need to do that. Or, wow, this corner of the house is super dirty. It doesn't always have to be clutter, but often I think it is.
And how have I not been seeing that? It's been right there for so long. I had a club member tell me she came home from a long weekend, at her sister's house. And the first thing she saw was a pile of Amazon returns that had been sitting by her front door. And she's like, yeah, I completely forgot they were there. When I think back, they've actually been there for, probably 45 days or so. And she's like, I felt like I saw them with fresh eyes after being away for the weekend. Again, that's the brain science we just geeked out over together. And she took care of them that afternoon. This is what I mean. But the good news is, as you can see, your brain naturally resets this filter every time you've been away from your home long enough. You just have to know how to catch it. So when you leave for your home for any stretch of time, then come back, that filter resets. So you might walk through the door, suddenly see everything and get triggered or annoyed. Or maybe you see the things you love. You're like, oh yeah, I love this, looks great. It doesn't all have to be negative. But maybe you see the shoes by the door, the weird corner in the living room that's been bugging you, whatever. And the reality is the clarity doesn't last because your brain, being so smart and doing what it's wired to do, is going to re-habituate and start filtering that stuff out again pretty quickly. So when you walk back in and something catches your eye, pay attention. That's your brain telling you the truth before clutter blindness takes back over again. And this is what I mean when I say, as opposed to what so many of us think, summer is not the time to declutter. It's actually one of the best times to declutter. And if you've been here for any amount of time, I'm not talking about an overwhelming marathon session. You know that. You're not forcing yourself to evaluate every single item, or you're not trying to manufacture some motivation, right? I will say I am less motivated in the summer than any other weather season. And I think that's kind of how we're wired, but that doesn't mean I stop doing the healthy habits that keep my home easier to manage. But what we're talking about here is your brain is literally handing you the answers when you get home from your road trip, camping trip, vacation, whatever. That stuff that bothers you in that first hour back, ooh, this is the stuff that needs your attention. And the decisions are going to feel clearer because your filter is off and you're seeing your home really honestly for the first time in maybe weeks or probably months. And this is why summer is such a gift for this concept. Weekend trips, all these things, even full days at the pool. Maybe you come home and you're like, oh yeah, I can really see these piles that I need to tackle. And the point is, a lot of us are getting a lot of these windows more frequently, and most people walk right past them. I don't want you to be one of them. Speaking of things in your home you might not be noticing, this is a doozy because let me tell you about something you literally can't see. Did you know that 3 out of 4 US homes have toxic chemicals in their tap water? Even though contaminated water looks clear, it could put you at risk for devastating health concerns, fatigue, hormone disruption, and even cognitive decline. Surprisingly, standard fridge and pitcher filters do little to remove most of those contaminants, and bottled water contains microplastic. Ugh. So what's the solution? Introducing AquaTrue. This is my favorite countertop water purifier, tested and certified to remove 84 contaminants, including chlorine, lead, forever chemicals, gross, and those darn microplastics we've been hearing all about. It has a patented 4-stage reverse osmosis system that goes way beyond ordinary filters for pure, healthy water you can trust. No plumbing, no installation. You guys know I do not like things on my countertops. I keep it very streamlined and only the essentials. This is one thing I gladly keep on my countertop. AquaTrue has been also featured in Business Insider, Popular Science, and named the best countertop water filter by Good Housekeeping. Join 98% of customers, including myself, who say their drinking water is cleaner, safer, and healthier. You can go to aquatrue.com now for 20% off your purifier using promo code MAX. AquaTrue even comes with a 30-day best tasting water guarantee. That's aquatrue.com, AQUATRU.com, promo code MAX. Okay, let's get even more practical. What are we going to do in these moments when we get home from these trips, when we have this kind of, so to speak, fresh eyes moments? When you walk back in, I want you, probably already have it in your hand anyway, grab your phone and do a walkthrough of those areas that are screaming at you, the ones that are bothering you, the ones where you're like, oh heavens, I need to take care of this. Don't just snap photos. I want you to take super short videos. You can do this literally in less than 2 minutes. And you're like, Katie, I'm lugging in suitcases. I'm coming in. It feels like a tornado. Great. Film for 120 seconds. I promise you, this is really going to help you. What I want you to do and narrate in the space that you see with fresh eyes that is irritating you is say something like, this counter is covered in stuff that doesn't belong here. It stresses me out every single morning, and here's when I'm going to tackle it. You can also narrate really quickly how you would rather be using this space. Like, I want this to be clear so the kids can do homework here and I can set groceries down without playing Tetris. Just a quick narration of what's bothering you and even just how you want to use the space can be really helpful, because when we say things out loud, it makes it real in a way that a photo can't. You're not just documenting the clutter or the pain points, you're processing it. You're telling yourself the truth about how it's affecting you, maybe your family, and what you actually want. And when you come back and watch those videos, even a few days later, because I get it, it takes time to unpack, reset, sometimes before you want to add some stuff to your donation bin. You can watch that video before your brain rehabituates, that's the key, and be like, oh yeah, this is something I want to process. And it's so much more powerful than staring at a silent photo, trying to be like, wow, I don't remember how I felt, right? And that feeling, those emotions are what really get us to feel motivated. It's not just a static photo we can just scroll through and ignore or add to our digital clutter. I had a client actually do this last month after a camping trip. She came home after just like a day and a half, and she recorded 6 videos. Took her less than 2 minutes. One was a basket of random toys in the living room. She realized when she was filming it, her kids hadn't played with in months. And another one she sent me was a shelf in her bathroom, and there was probably a dozen half-used products that she was reaching past every single morning to get what she wanted. And when she watched those videos, they were maybe each, 20 seconds each. She heard herself saying, this is driving me crazy, and I want this shelf to only have the things I actually use. That's it. And guess what? The decisions became so much clearer. The guilt, the overwhelm, and even the second guessing, she said, went way down. She also couldn't believe she'd been living with all that as her normal and not seeing it, right? And by the end of the week, she sent me her after photos, which are always great, right? The static, beautiful after photos so many of us aspire to. But here's the kicker. More importantly to me, this is why I do what I do and why I think you do what you do by listening to the show every week, simplifying your life in all ways, shapes, and forms. It's not the static photo. It's the space she created for herself through the means of decluttering that gave her and continues to give her a massive return on her investment. More calm, more peace, less mental clutter. This is so amazing. This is why I'm 2 lattes in and just geeking out over this episode. So now you've got your videos. And of course, if you want to skip them, but I just really think they're so valuable. You have your brain filter off. You can see some of these trigger points. You heard yourself say what's bothering you about the space, how you want to use it. Now I want to give you 4 rules for these moments too. If you're driving, walking the dog, on a run or whatever, come back to these. Maybe if you can, write them down. Rule number 1, ask yourself, is this item that's in this video or in this pile actively supporting me, my lifestyle, and my goals? If you walked past it for weeks and your brain filtered it out and you didn't even touch it, there's a really good chance the answer is no. I came home once, actually just a few weeks ago, from our 2-week trip. And as I was unpacking my clothes, and I had pulled the clothes out of the dryer for my trip, putting the clean clothes away, I was like, ooh, there's a handful of shirts at the bottom of this bin that I've had the opportunity to use, and they're certainly not actively supporting me right now. And I could tell that because they were crumpled, and a couple of them were kind of falling apart. They were very old, and I knew I didn't want them anymore. They weren't doing what I needed them to do, which was support me, right? Out they went. And guess what? These decisions, I think there were like 4 or 5 shirts, took a whopping 10 seconds. 5 things in 10 seconds. Sounds good to me. Rule number 2, set a physical boundary for the area that's bothering you. I can promise you 8 times out of 10, when clients come to me with a clutter issue, this is one of the first aha moments they have. What is your physical limitation for these different categories of things in your house? A drawer is a physical limitation. A shelf is a physical limitation. A room, your whole home is a physical limitation, but don't get buck wild with that because we can still have a lot of clutter, right? But you get the idea. Bins, cabinets, tables, counters, all these things. So if your outdoor gear and kids' toys have completely overtaken your garage already this summer, and that's what caught your eye and you did a video of it, the problem might be perhaps there's no physical limit, or sometimes a number works here, right, on how many can live there. So assign something reasonable and keep whatever fits. And whatever doesn't finds a new home and leaves. The boundary becomes the rule. And what's so great about that, especially if it's a boundary or a number, you don't have to keep policing it. One of my members did this recently with her kids' water bottles. Hello, anyone come home to a kitchen with like 1,000 water bottles on it? Man, water bottles. I always joke, did we drink water in the 90s growing up? I don't think any of us drank water. None of us walked around with Stanley cups or Yetis in the 80s and 90s. We just had the good old fashioned water fountain. Okay, side tangent, but I just have to say, I'm like, wow, we were like camels or something. But the point is, our parents didn't have a water bottle issue. So all these water companies have done a really good job at marketing water, and we are well hydrated. And I will say our skin shows it because we're looking good. Yeah. Us geriatric millennials looking good, and that's because we hydrate. So the point is, her new water bottle limit after seeing, maybe it wasn't 1,000, maybe it was like, I don't know, too many for her, 18, 15, was simply 2 per kid. This solved an ongoing, nagging daily problem that she had gotten so used to became her new norm because of what we talked about earlier, right? Brain science. And when she came back, she saw it. And this problem was solved in 15 seconds. Okay. Rule number 3, same day rule for the easy stuff. If something caught your eye in that pile, in that video, you know it needs to go. Handle it right then. Please, please. In other words, don't put it down, put it away. This is one of my mottos, and it's not put it away in a drawer to tackle later. It's put it away in the donation bin where it needs to go. The easy decisions are the ones that tend to slip away fastest because you're like, oh, I'll just set this down and I'll deal with it tomorrow. And then we all know what tomorrow brings, an even busier schedule. Your brain's going to, guess what? There's this word again, rehabituate. And suddenly that thing is more invisible again. Yet it's still taxing your nervous system and causing you to feel more stressed in your home. So put it into your donation station while it's in your hand so you can still see it. And it's a decision you never have to make ever again. Doesn't that sound freeing? That is one main reason I absolutely love decluttering. When I put something in my donation bin, I love the fact that I never have to make a decision on that item ever again. I never have to see it. I never have to go, what do I need to do with this? But this costs money. Well, I don't know. I feel guilty. Think about the mental yo-yo and mental bandwidth that you just cut out of your life because you made a decision and you did it right then. Okay, wrapping up here, rule number 4, for the harder stuff, and let's be real, not everything's easy, low-hanging fruit. The things your fresh eyes flagged, but you're still not sure what to do with yet, keep the video. This is why we took the video. Give yourself a week. Come back to it with a fresh intention. Maybe you've rehabituated a little bit, your brain has with that pile or room, and ask yourself, what's keeping you from making that decision? Guilt? Cost, sentimental, what is it? Naming the reason you're stuck can sometimes just be the lever we need to pull to have more clarity and go, well, actually, I can think about it a different way. I can reframe it. One of my club members recently posted this. She said, I realized I'm keeping a lot of these baby clothes because I'm sad that chapter is over. And once she named it, she used the story season self framework of mine. It's in my book, by the way. If you bought my book on Audible or own my book, it's in there. It's in the club members area as well for my club members. And use those resources pertaining to that type of clutter. She let it go. And my favorite part, again, it's not the before and after of the cluttered baby pile and the, spacious little kids room. It is that she said, this makes me tear up every single time. I was able to let this go, not with pain or anguish or regret, but with a deep sense of gratitude for that chapter of my life. How can you not tear up? Man, let's cry. Let's shed some tears. Can't get through one episode, but this is such a beautiful thing when we can, in a sustainable way that fits our personalities, nourishes our souls, and reminds us of the benefits of why we are simplifiers and why we invest time in these healthy home habits and these foundational concepts. Again, I always come back to ROI, return on investment. That is a beautiful thing. So beautiful. So here's your one thing this week. Next time you come home, maybe you just got home from 4th of July. Okay, good for you. Maybe you just had a 4th of July barbecue and you come back inside. After you tackle those hosting dishes and all that stuff, record a few piles. Say out loud what bothers you, how you'd rather use the space. Give yourself seriously just 2 minutes. That's all it takes. Your brain is handing you clarity on a silver platter. So capture it before that filter turns back on. One more thing, my friend. This is my last episode before I take a short break for the rest of July. When I'm back in August, I'm bringing you some fresh strategies, new conversations, and some of the most practical episodes I've done yet to help you head into the new season. Fall, I can't believe fall and autumn are going to be here before we know it with a lighter home and lighter life. You are not going to want to miss these episodes. A lot of these are just filled with inspiration from working with my one-on-one clients and of course being on this journey myself. And if you are like, I don't want to lose momentum while the podcast is not, having new episodes, of course, go listen to some old ones. But here is what I want you to do. If you haven't done this, you might have been listening to this show for how long have I been doing this? 7 years? Maybe this is your first episode. Maybe you've been listening for the first 7 years. Whatever. If you haven't done this, go do it right now. It takes less than 2 minutes. Take my free Decluttering Style Quiz because it gives you a customized action plan based on your specific decluttering style. Because those fresh eye moments we just talked about, they become even more powerful when you know your specific reasons for holding on. And based on the results you get an action plan designed for that. One listener told me she'd been struggling with several boxes for over 20 years, and her custom plan helped her let go of those 20 years of boxes. And another client of mine got rid of over 100 items from her closet using her plan alone. So take the quiz, get your plan, use it all summer while I'm away for more peace, ease, and calm in your home. That link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this July 8th or whenever you're listening to it. Hope you have the best summer. I will see you in just a few weeks in August. Ready, set, simplify. Bye.